This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you may have missed this morning, but we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 23rd of November 2021 and I am 2J.
I am JM.
And I am Miss K. Again, in case you missed today's headlines, here they are. Daily Nation, inside Raila and Ruto plot to block defectors. The Standard, leaders protest DCI move on KPA bosses. The Star, Kenyatta suddenly calls off Jubilee NDC. And finally, People Daily, ministers snub key Ruto forum. I think I'll kick us off today and I'll start with the NDC. The Jubilee National Delegates Convention, NDC, has been postponed. The news of the NDC and its deferral have received a lot of media attention. So today, I'd like to talk about the historical significance of NDCs. Historically, NDCs have played an important role in shaping politics. At least they have in the run-up to elections. In the past, NDCs have birthed moments which have significantly and irreversibly shifted Kenya's political landscape. The repeal of Section 2A, the constitutional amendment that made Kenya a de jure one-party state, happened as a result of a directive by Moi during the December 1991 KANU National Governing Council meeting. Then it was endorsed by the KANU National Delegates Conference and Parliament. It was at an NDC in March 2002 that KANU and NDP merged to form New KANU. Then Raila Odinga was made the Secretary General, and Uhuru Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and Katana Ngala were chosen as the 4 vice chairmen of the newly merged party. On a side note, could this be what will happen during the ODM and Jubilee meeting?
Yes.
I don't know. It was also at an NDC, a KANU NDC, that the late Professor George Saitoti stood up in front of all delegates. Then he said in the presence of God and Moi that there comes a time when the nation is more important than an individual. So in my view, the Jubilee Party NDC will be just as important in defining the political landscape for 2022. But I will say that whatever will happen at the NDC, it will not be what we expect, and it will shock us. We have said in the past that Uhuru Kenyatta is the most discussed and the least studied politician, and if there is anything we have learned from him, is that his solutions to political problems are measured, subtle, and clever. Uhuru is a shrewd and indiscernible political operator. You never see him coming. He has stabilized the political temperature of the country repeatedly by doing the unimaginable. I mean, the handshake between Uhuru and Raila after the mess of 2017 was a political absurdity that has sustained our nation. Therefore, what Uhuru will do with Ruto and his Tanga crew will be unexpected, but it will be effective.
Yes.
So I have to admit, I'm a little excited for the NDC, where Uhuru will create the political future of our country in slow motion, right before our eyes.
Absolutely. And did you know we're just about to get to 30 years of the repeal of Section 2A on the 10th of December 2021. Now, the National Delegates Convention, as you said, has been postponed. And of course, this news came as a relief to UDA, who are currently shaking in their boots. Much as they would like to wish the meeting away, the NDC is inevitable. Not only must it happen, but it will be followed by some radical surgery to expel UDA members from Jubilee. And here are 2 reasons why the NDC must happen. The first is technical. Statutorily, the election calendar, which even the president is subject to, has begun to tick. According to the Elections Act, all political parties intending to participate in the 2022 elections must get their affairs in order. Being the supreme organ of the party, Jubilee's NDC is the organ that will nominate the party's presidential and deputy presidential candidates. So these rumors that were flying around yesterday that the president dismissed NDC saying ati hii ni maneno mambo yenyu mimi sijui, UDA's fanciful daydreams. But the second reason the delegates convention must happen is political. Much as Uhuru will be out of power in 2021, he still intends to control the levers of power. Why? First, when he retires next year at 61 years old, the president will be our youngest ever presidential retiree. What does a former president with all his energy do? You know, he has no choice but to remain active in politics. After all, as well, no one ever seized power with the intention of relinquishing it. Not so young. Secondly, this is the only way the president will protect his no-nonsense reforms. This is the way that he'll as well mentor his successor within the Gema nation. All those accomplishments that he's been making through Jeshi, the Jeshi model since 2018, you know, KMC and all these other places that are being taken over and restored to their former glory. All of those things will be drawn back by civilians and civil servants and civil society. They want to return things to a status quo where they were the biggest beneficiaries. So of course, once Uhuru is out of power, this is something they'll seek to do, but he wouldn't let that happen. And that's why he still remain, you know, in control of the party. And finally, the third political reason why Jubilee will be rebranded and put in order is so that Uhuru can control the politics of Bunge beyond 2022. So come 2022, we will inaugurate the 13th Parliament, in which the Deputy President will be the official leader of the opposition. I'm talking about Sneaky Bill. And the Sneaky Bill, in that role as official leader of opposition, you know, his first order of business will be to attempt to impeach Uhuru Kenyatta. And so, you know what, Uhuru and Raila, if they don't work together, they will be impeached, right? And so that's why they've got to come together and do this. And, you know, they'll be looking to control at least 2/3 of the National Assembly and the Senate to keep Sneaky Bill at bay. And you know what? He won't be the first person to do so. When Joseph Kabila ceded power to Tshisekedi in 2019, Kabila's coalition still controlled 2/3 of the National Assembly. And that's what managed to keep his currency in politics going.
True. I think I too am excited for the NDC and whenever it will take place. So I want to switch gears a little bit. And I think that we need to address the hashtag Sonko leaks for what they truly are. This is an act of whistleblowing, and it should be treated as such. Because whistleblowing is also known as making a disclosure in the public interest of any wrongdoing. So the Bribery Act, the Anti-Corruption and Economics Crime Act, the Access to Information Act, and the Witness Protection Act, just to name a few, all state in one way or another the duty to report crimes of a corrupt nature and the intention to protect those who come forward. So how should we view the court barring Sonko from releasing any more tapes? Is this a breach of his freedom of expression? Can this be read also as a threat to him should he continue to alert the public to our faltering judicial integrity? In fact, are we even surprised that Sonko took his videos to the internet of all places? Was he reasonably expected to give this information to the JSC, the very judiciary that he's attempting to expose? In our view, this confirms to us that what Sonko admitted himself, the president was right to reject the appointment of those 6 judges. Clearly, there is rampant corruption and bribery in our judiciary. But this leads me to another point. If Sonko has revealed how easy it is to sway a judge with small money, then what nonsense is taking place when more money is put before them? Was this the case with BBI? Is money the reason why the judiciary has followed every single executive decision with a court order? If there is damning evidence, the judiciary should not be treated differently, and the public should have access to this information. Chitemwe and other corrupt judges must be arrested. But we also need to smoke out the sickness that is plaguing our courts. Our judges cannot hide behind the JSC and its rules of engagement. Who do they serve? The people or themselves? Most importantly, I think we need to keep in mind that a corrupt judiciary means that justice cannot be achieved. The same judiciary that tells us everything is unconstitutional cannot be the same judiciary hiding the fault in their chambers from the public. Truthfully, they just need to be held accountable. And I'm pretty sure that revisiting is around the corner.
You know what justice is? It's what the judge ate for breakfast.
You've said this so many times and I agree with you. And this is why I keep preaching from this pulpit that we need to elect judges.
I know.
Then you can call them back every 5 years, just like your MPs. Anyway, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to judge the headlines for you. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is the headline topical or speculative, repetitive or groundbreaking, and thoughtful, or just plain lazy?
Yes.
Let's take a revisitation to the headlines. Daily Nation, inside Raila and Ruto plot to block defectors, standard. Leaders protest DCI move on KPA bosses. The Star, Kenyatta suddenly calls off NDC. And People Daily, ministers snub key Ruto forum.
As it stands, I think the Star and the People Daily speak most to me. That,
I do,
the
I agree
snubbing
with
of
you.
Ruto's forum.
I'm gonna
that was
just
held
toss
yesterday.
those two. And I think, well, because the NDC inspired 2 of our thoughts today, I will keep the Star. Kenyatta suddenly calls off Jubilee NDC.
I agree.
There you have it. The Star gives us our winning headline. Onto the political pieces that we call cartoons. And just like the headlines, we have a 3-part criteria. Is it humorous or dry, satirical or pessimistic and effective, or just plain lazy? We're going to start with the Daily Nation.
Yeah, so here we have a caricature of William Ruto and Raila Odinga on a massage bed in a spa, and you've got these masseuses who are representing opinion polling companies, and they are massaging both of them. And the cartoon is implying that the politicians' pollsters are telling them precisely what they want to hear.
Lies.
Sweet, sweet nothings.
Sweet,
But is
sweet
it relevant that the caricature of Ruto has 2 pollsters massaging him as opposed to the one on Raila?
I think that I like that implication that he's getting more lies, like he's being assumed too much, more than is truthful.
I like it. It's a humorous.
So I like it. It's humorous. I think we put it in the parking bay and look at the Standard.
Yeah.
In the Standard, we have a scene with 2 snakes that are eating each other from opposite ends of their tails. One is labeled the Ethiopian government and the other TPLF. And in the background, we have carcasses of what I guess we can only assume are dead snakes.
Humans?
Or humans, I don't know. I don't know if there's much context to the cartoon, but today, Abiy Ahmed, the PM of Ethiopia, said that, or vowed rather, that he would lead and mobilize forces from the front. So he says that he's going to be at the front fighting the rebels, while at the same time, the TPLF have said that they are advancing and getting closer to Addis. So I'm not sure what it means.
Well, I guess the plain one is that they are eating each other and themselves, so no one is going to win in the end.
Yeah, I actually read into it about snakes eating each other, and it apparently is a true thing. It's a form of self-cannibalization, and they say that it represents 2 things. Either becoming one, so the ending of a cycle,
I remember,
or
like a continuous
destroying each
circle.
other. Yeah, so maybe Gado is actually saying something a little bit more highbrow than we thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we put that in the parking bay, macabre though it may be. And we look at what's in the Star, a bit of humor. We have LSK President Nelson Havi, a caricature of him wearing a UDA yellow hat and a UDA yellow tie, and he's jumping over Mudavadi's fence. A caricature of Musalia Mudavadi looking on at him and thinking, hey, hey, do you know what you're doing? As he jumps over into UDA, and a caricature of William Ruto is also looking at him. I think this is funny. Yesterday, Nelson Havi announced that he had joined DP Ruto under the UDA umbrella, and he intends to run for MP of Westlands.
Can you imagine jumping over a fence into a wheelbarrow? That is not a soft landing.
It is not. Anything could go wrong. I wish we had a continuation to see how he landed on his face.
But also something that 2M likes to bring up
is
the strangeness of the people who have recently started to defect to UDA.
These defectors.
We have Kate Waruguru, we have Waigoro, Anne Waigoro, and we have recently Nelson Havi. Are these people spies?
And they should watch out. I think that William Ruto needs to check his home, because if there's any leakages, it's all from within. Kikulacho, kinguoni mwako. And we look at the last cartoon. We put that in the parking bay as well, People Daily.
In the People Daily, we have a bit of a comic strip. On one side, we have a caricature of CS Amina Mohammed hitting former FKF President Nick Mwendwa on the head, saying, "You are fired. What did you do with the money?" And we have an FKF budget suitcase that is empty. And then in the second box, we have Amina Mohammed now with a bigger, more full suitcase. And she's being told by someone, "Give me the money, I won't be like him." and this person is labeled the caretaker committee, and his agenda is make football great again. Honestly, I really wish that I liked football, but okay, let's break down this a little bit. So of course Nick Mwendwa was ousted, and she put in place this caretaker committee that is supposed to make football great again. Of all the slogans that they could come up with, is this really the best?
Oh gosh.
I feel like they're probably setting themselves up for failure all over again.
The spirit of Donald Trump lives in that statement.
Then again, I think we all know that the Queen invented football to distract the masses. So Kenyans, come on.
Where the masses were being distracted. I say make a quick decision between those four headlines, and we toss the people daily. And then, while I do like the highbrowness of Gado, I do say that we toss the Ethiopia government to PLF. Between the Daily Nation and the Star, what is it? Are we having a change of heart?
We are having
a change of heart. And there you have it. The Star gives us our winning cartoon.
Alrighty.
As a quick reminder, the Star also gave us our winning headline, so it's a 2-for-1 today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on your TV screens. We're on Pang Free to Air, Go TV, and Star Times. I'll end with a little quote, just a little one, from Benjamin Disraeli. It's about political parties, I guess, in this season. There is no act of treachery or meanness of which a political party is not capable. For in politics, there is no honor. This is to you, UDA people, as you await the NDC.
Yes.
Do have a great evening.